Hello, welcome to Long Island Weather Update tonight, and you can see you definitely get some of that cirrus invading. We had some clouds to kind of start the day over Suffolk, and then increasing amounts of cirrus as we got toward the end of the day. So not a really clear sky today, but it was still, we did see the sun a little bit, but the sky kind of looked like this today, kind of not. We had some cirrus, and then some of these lower clouds kind of trying to redevelop coming in off the ocean, and your sunset. Yep, pretty junky sky there. See a number of contrails too as well. So you can see all this cirrus that's coming up over us. Unfortunately, it's invading the whole east pretty much. So you can see the junk. That's what we call it here. You get that junky sky, across the area. So looking at our weather map, you can see high pressure isn't in control. So you can see we're starting to get on the other side of that high. So that's where we're getting that return flow, more junky air, and it'll start getting warmer as well as a result. And you can see all the storminess is in the upper Midwest today. So let's go look at what we got going on outside right now. And I'm sure it's a nice, cool night out there. It was nice. Yeah, mid-50s again. 58 in Carl Place, 55 at Farmingdale, 55 at Islip. So we got 50s across much of Long Island. Even some 40s out on the South Fork there. In the city, it's still 61, and also cooled off in the Jersey Shore as well with mid-50s, of course. In my alley, yeah, it's still about 65 degrees. I still got to run the air conditioner. It's ridiculous, man. Just can't get fresh air in this place. So it's going to be the story. All just keep running the air conditioner. The agency says they don't want to. Maybe it'll cost too much. From now, they're going to have a sky-high electric bill. That's what they deserve anyway, for being so short-sighted. Anyway, not here to rant about that. Let's get to the weather. So let's go over our highs and lows for the day. And high at Islip was 69, the low of 52. And right at normal for the day. 0, look at that. No departure from normal at all at Islip. Central Park, high of 74 and a low of 55. Just 1 degree above normal at Central Park. So, yeah, it was pretty close to normal today. Let's look at the map and see what our highs were across the area. And you can see maybe a little bit warmer than yesterday. Central Nassau, once again, getting to the mid-70s. Seems to be the hottest spot of Long Island, this area, because the South Shore was in the upper 60s, only around 70 in Islip. Most of Suffolk was upper 60s to around 70. The city was 74. And let's take a look at Jersey. Toms River downtown was actually managed to be cooler than us, 66, and even inland at Miller Air Park, only 72. So it's actually cooler in Jersey. You have to go a little more inland to get to those warmer temperatures. But with that southeast flow, that onshore flow, it was cool there. Cooler there than it was, believe it or not, even here. Looking at the lows. The lows here, they get down to 51. Of course, the alley was not nearly as cool. I was able to turn off the air conditioner. Eventually, it cooled off after like midnight. But lows generally in the low 50s, nice and cool. Low 50s, upper 40s, mid 50s in the city. And let's see how the Jersey Shore did here as well. Probably, look at that, 46 at Miller Air Park. Wow, they had some really good radiational cooling in the New Jersey Pine Barrens there. Cooled off at night. More than West Hampton, actually. Pretty interesting, to say the least. We'll go and look at some one. Let me go to this. Look at some Wonder Map sites for a minute, just to show you again the difference between Central Nassau and everywhere else. So we go look at our Mineola site. You see here. See what it was like in Mineola. We got up to 73. You can see 70s pretty much was in the 70s right through around 4 o'clock, and then it started dropping. But if you were one of those lucky people that lived in Wantaw, we'll go a little bit north here. Forest Lake, let's see how they did today. They got up to 71.4, but then they started dropping. Yeah, they started dropping as we got to it later in the afternoon there, 60s mainly. So, and that's more like North Wantaw, but still, decent temperature range there. Even here it wasn't that bad, but that alley, the way it is here. The dew point's 54, so the dew points are still Slightly humid, but not, not bone dry. I didn't mean to close that window. All right, because we got to go look across the country here. We do have some severe weather here going on in the upper plains here. You can see there's a big severe thunderstorm watch and even a tornado watch that's east of Denver, and it's surrounded by another severe thunderstorm watch here. And if we look at the warnings that we have here, we'll go switch the layer to just warnings. You'll see that we do have, oh, look at this. 2 tornado warnings in Colorado, of all places, east of Denver. We've got 2 tornado warnings that are working right now. And more severe weather. So it's definitely more in the, almost in the east of the, yeah, just Denver, actually. So the Denver area seems to be getting hit hard with severe weather right now. We do have a couple of flash flood warnings and a number of other severe thunderstorm warnings that are taking place right now. Looking at the radar, let's go to the radar, look at what these storms look like here. All right, so here's this line right here in Michigan, where it's a couple of isolated warnings on the southern part of that. And this is the line right here that's going. Let's see if we can load this. Come on. So these are the storms that we got here. And it looks like a lot of hail with these. And let's take a look at these tornado warned storms right now that are east of Denver. Look at this. Wow. These storms look pretty bad. And you can see, I could see the hook echoes. Yep. So a lot of hail in these storms too as well. They're pretty serious, actually. Pretty serious storms. Let's go and actually let me go back to the weather map for a moment here. Let's just take a look at some of these observations, if we can get some observations from where those storms are going right now. Let's see if we can see some wind gusts up here. We do have 35. See if we have any ones reporting any crazy wind gusts here. But there could be a microburst in these storms. Don't see any right now. Let's go and change the satellite to the CONUS view. So we can get a look across what's going on across the whole country. So here's the, you can see this all flare up right here. Definitely see that flaring up right there. So let's go to the flash intensity. This will show the lightning. You get to see these storms flare up. See earlier on in the afternoon, not much, and then look, you can see it start to flare up now. Look at that. Oh, yeah, a lot going on now. So, yeah, that's how the line is developing. Let's look at the Storm Prediction Center now. And you can see that enhanced risk area that's in that area. We do have tornado watches in effect, and again, a couple of warnings going from the east of Denver down through the upper Midwest areas, upper plains. And it looks like we've had one reported tornado so far today. A lot of reports of hail, 38. And straight line winds, 34 reports as well. So looking into tomorrow's severe weather outlook, oh boy, it's going to actually ramp up a little more. We're going to have an enhanced risk, again, upper Midwest, and then a moderate risk around that. So we could see a really active day tomorrow with the severe weather. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this, obviously, for the severe weather. We'll go to look at the power outage map and see if these storms are causing power issues. Texas still dealing with a lot, though. It's come down a lot. It's now down 154th. You got to remember, they got to rebuild the whole transmission network. It's going to take quite some time. And we also have a number of outages in Kansas as well, in some areas. I don't see too many in Colorado, just 1,156. So let's go to the models now and take a look at what we're going to be dealing with this week. So we have high pressure over us. It's going to keep us dry for much of the week. Our next chance of rain would be Thursday. And this is a possibility. We may have to watch out for some severe weather on Thursday because of the type of, you'll notice the V in the isobars there. And then that front kind of gets hung up, and then we're going to have to watch. Yeah, it just wants to develop now a wave along and bring rain for Saturday. See, the 12Z run was further to the south. The 18Z run has come north on this run. I'm going to stick with the 12Z run right now because we all know the 18Z run can be a little goofy sometimes. But you see that intense low, that's going there. Really intense low. That's going to be triggering the severe weather outbreak tomorrow and perhaps even tomorrow Wednesday. Look at it, just going straight up. Very strange. That's showing the ridge that we have in the east that we're seeing right there. So let's go to the HRRR model and look at our short range forecast. And obviously, when it comes to precip, not a whole lot to see here. There are some chances of thunderstorms upstate. Wednesday will also be dry. However, you can start to see that it looks like there is a line here developing here as we get toward Wednesday, later Wednesday night to Thursday. Let's look at our dew points and wind flow because that's gonna be changing as we head into tomorrow. So still got the southerly flow, easterly flow, but you'll see it becomes a little more southerly tomorrow. And you'll notice that Jersey's going to really start to get into a hotter flow with the air coming over the land. You can see the dew points are actually much higher. For us, we have lower dew points with the southerly flow. And as we get into Wednesday, still keeping that southerly to southwesterly flow. So while the Jersey Shore was enjoying the cool weather today, they probably won't be tomorrow or Wednesday, and they'll be baking instead. So let's go look at our temperatures. And you'll see things are going to heat up quite a bit in Jersey. 80s. There's going to be a big difference between Jersey and our neck of the woods. So Jersey's going to be roasting in the 80s tomorrow. We're going to have some 70s mainly on the North Shore, probably Central Nassau, probably maybe get into the mid to upper 70s. I don't think we'll see 80. Much cooler on the South Shore, Suffolk County, probably 60s, especially by the afternoon. And then as we get toward Wednesday, it does get a little bit warmer for us. So I think maybe we have a shot at seeing 80 degrees in Central Nassau County. And again, well into the 80s for Jersey. And again, there'll be a sea breeze. South Shore, again, the place to be. So it always is, because that's the place to be, and that's the place that that we all have to fight like hell to get to live in, because it's paradise there. It's taken care of, everybody gets hurt, and the weather's better. It's cooler. So the main thing is cooler, all right? Because, Jersey is like a death sentence for those of us like me who can't take the heat. It's already hot enough here in Mineola, especially at that hot alley I got to deal with. So let's go to the... So I guess we'll go look at the skies, I guess, next. So go ahead and look at that. Just take a couple of soundings, because this kind of tells you the story here. We're going to have a lot of clouds around probably. So it's maybe some lower clouds and then maybe some higher clouds. Let's put this over at Nassau County. It's actually looking pretty good for Nassau. Maybe we will have clearer skies tomorrow. That cirrus was really a pain. And then over Jersey, it's showing even less clouds. So more sunshine over Jersey, where it's going to be hotter, of course. And then if I want to go any further, we're going to have to go to the GFS. So let's look at the GFS now at the dew points and wind flow. So here's the GFS. GFS showing a little more of a westerly component to the wind, hence the warmer temperatures for Wednesday. And then here we are on Thursday. And you can see, in fact, let me just go to the 12Z run on this. So here we are on Thursday. You can see definitely Thursday is going to be warm and humid, definitely feeling like summer. This cold front comes through. You see there's a big difference here. Now, see, it's trying to slow the front down. This is a bit of a concern. It's trying to slow the front down. Now, if I go to the 0Z run, look at how much further the front's... so I don't like this trend at all with the front. We better not be dealing with stall front syndrome for the holiday weekend. That's going to be really bad. But it does tend to slow it down. And we have to wait until Saturday for some of the drier air to come in. And you can see the front kind of gets stuck over the mid-Atlantic, of course. More stall front. Originally, this front was supposed to come through, and it was supposed to be nice, and now we got to worry about this for the weekend. And I'm not going to talk too much about the weekend in this video because it's just too far in advance. But you can see that we do have that boundary that we're going to have to watch out for, all right? So you can see this kind of shows the difference in the air masses, all right, that we have. So we go to look at the temperatures. So here's the temperatures for Wednesday. And you can see maybe somebody in Jersey might even hit 90 on Wednesday. And then Thursday is going to be pretty warm as well, even though the clouds will be increasing ahead of that front. And then here we are for Friday. Still warm. Still has us above 80, which indicates that there's even well upstate. So this is a very weak push of cool air that we're going to have coming in. And then Saturday, I said I wasn't going to talk about the weekend. So said it's too soon to really speculate. Originally it looked like we'd be in the clear. Now, it's some of the models are saying not so fast. Like I said, I think I'll talk more about it as we get into... It's only Monday, so we still have a ways to go here for all this. So let's go look at the radar presentation here. All right, so you can take a look at this line that's going to come through Thursday. And this is the concern here. And I'm using the 12Z. You notice there's a bit of a V in that line there. And that's a concern for severe weather. Of course, if the front slows down, then maybe it won't have as much punch. But there's definitely concern for some severe weather perhaps on Thursday with this front that's going to come through. So that would be our next chance of active weather as far as our area goes. Let's go ahead and look at the European AI and see what the European AI does, obviously. The AI, let's see if the AI keeps that ridge strong. It does keep it strong, keeps us dry for Saturday. And Sunday, it looks like we might have to deal with a little more of it. So I'm hoping that the GFS is just going through a little bit of a problem, or a little bit of too much of a northward buckle on that front. Hopefully that front makes it further to the south, but you never know. I'll go ahead and look at the icon as well, showing the front again for the icon. Here's the front again. And yeah, you can see it kind of gets hung up a little bit, but it keeps it far enough to the south that we should be able to eke out a decent day on Saturday. But again, this is far in advance. But we'll have to watch it, obviously. We're not completely 100%. I'm not going to say the coast is clear for the weekend. Let's jump back to the GFS and look at clouds and sky cover. And so you can see this is it's showing some serious... And I don't think any of these days are going to really be completely clear. Wednesday will probably have the most amount of sunshine. And then Thursday we'll have to deal with more clouds. And Friday we thought we were going to clear it out, but we'll have to see how far this front gets. This is the 12Z. Let me move this back. That's the 18Z. The 18Z and the 12Z actually look pretty similar with the cloud cover. But then Saturday, there might be a difference on this. So a little bit of a difference. So we're going to have to watch that. So let's go to the RGM now. Look at the cloud cover for tomorrow. And you'll see you start off with you still have some of that cirrus around. So it's going to give that sky kind of a crummy look, I think, in my opinion. Well, I don't think it's going to be a nice blue sky, unfortunately. You know, get like washed out, the cirrus, the contrails, the haze, and all of this stuff. Wednesday, maybe a little less of it. That'll be the warmer day. You also have to watch for possibly some low fog banks offshore. And then Thursday, obviously, going to deal with a little more clouds ahead with that front now. Because the RGM wants to move that through. Let's see. RGM is one of the models that can take us far enough out. Let's see what it does with that front. So it does seem to have it kind of disorganized. Doesn't have a line, but this is so far out. The NAM, I don't even think is going to go far enough out to take us there. It's not gonna. So it's only speculation at this point what could happen Thursday. You can see it is developing a line that's a little more over Jersey, but see that V there. When you see a V like that, that means that that you have a strong frontal passage that could have some severe weather with it. Let me just take this to the eastern U.S. I'm going to look at the GFS again, and we're going to go to that 700 to 300 humidity chart, kind of show us what's going on. So you can see we're in the dry air Tuesday, still in it Wednesday, but then we get into a little bit of that, that moisture with that front, and then the front comes through Friday, and then look, we unfortunately for Saturday, look at the difference here. This is the 12Z run, all right. It's 12Z Saturday, still dry. Look at the 18Z run though. It's got a lot of moisture over us, and that would bring rain chances for your Saturday. If we're looking at the 12Z run, it keeps us dry. Even through Sunday, it would be more like Monday into Tuesday that could be more of a problem. So, again, we have GFS just kind of... The 18Z run can be kind of wonky sometimes. So I think that... I don't know why it's doing that northward. But hopefully that will go back to the south on the next 0Z run, I hope. Because the last thing we need is yet another weekend with rain. If we have rainfall this weekend, it'll be our 13th weekend in a row with rainfall. Which is just unfreaking believable. Yeah, really have had enough of it. So I think that'll wrap it up. I could go to the smoke model. I don't think we're going to... I haven't seen much. I'll go to the Modus. I don't see a whole lot of smoke right now on the Modus. I really don't. Yeah, there isn't really much. I just see the cirrus. You can see this is the... you can see what we had today. We had all these clouds kind of covering coastal areas, and they kind of burned off. Nassau County was clearing toward the morning. In the morning we had a clear sky, but then the cirrus kind of rolled in later on in the day. But I don't really see any smoke here. So, well, the only smoke I'm seeing is down over here. I don't think we're going to deal with that yet. So, With that, that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. Thank you for watching and good night.